So did you enjoy your lunch break? Yes? So let's move on to the sessions in the afternoon. So the next session is titled Implementing a RAG System in Dart and will be presented by Park JaiChang. So please give him a round of applause to welcome him.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon. It's an honor to be here, and thank you for attending presentation. And today, I will talk about implementing a retrieval-augmented generation system with Dart. So, in fact, explaining AI and LLMs and RAG can take a lot of time. Yeah, I will do my best to cover everything within 25 minutes for my presentation. But we will going through over 50 slides today. Yeah. Before we go any further, please allow to introduce myself. So my name is JaiChang Park. So I work as infra and cloud engineer at Dreamers company in Korea. I enjoy to develop Flutter apps and AI and contribute some open source projects. As a community activities, I'm an organizer of Flutter Seoul and also GDG Korea. If you have any questions about my presentation, please do not hesitate to ask, and I would welcome to any comment or suggestions. My presentation is divided into 4 main sections. So first, we look at LLMs, and LLM has challenges. Second, I'll talk about what RAG is. So next, we take a quick look at some LangChain. So finally, I will show you how to create a RAG app using Dart and Flutter. And this picture shows the difference between AI, ML, machine learning, and deep learning. So generative AI is a part of deep learning technology. So LLM is a language model that is part of a natural language processing field. So now let's move on to the NLP. So NLP is aimed at understanding the structures and meaning of text. As shown in the diagram, if the input is the FlutterNinjas event is held in the text, the next word is predicted and output through probabilistic calculations. So usually examples of NLP application is autocomplete feature common you're using in Google search or when you're Googling. So let's look at what LLM is. So as you know, the LLM stands for a large language model. So and that have a lot of data and weights. However, LLM is a limitation of that doesn't have array this data. So it can't answer correctly. So LLMs is used in chatbot and summarization, translation, writing, and already you used coding assessment for developers and other fields. So I mainly used LLM for summarizing research papers and development. LLM is evolving very quickly, so most language models based on the transformer. As shown in the picture, there's a cross like GPT and Gemini and Cloud. And the open source LLM such as Llama, Gemma, and Mistral, and Grok. I mentioned before, LLM has some challenges. One of the challenges is that it can't correctly answer from questions. So it has been run when they're training. So I asked the ChatGPT about the FlutterNinjas event. However, GPT response is data is updated only until January 2022. This is called GPT doesn't have data about this conference. The following sentence or answers generated based on my question. Another challenge issues for LLM has a phenomenon known as hallucinations. Yeah. Why do LLM hallucinations occur? Yeah. It's because the model can't encrypt all the data in the world for the training process. Yeah, so hallucinations can also result from overfitting during model training or inappropriate your prompt. Let's look at some examples of LLM hallucinations. One of the services from my company in an app called Flow, and a music streaming service in Korea. Yeah, but I'm not here to promote this app. Yeah. For understanding, I will use K-pop data as an example. Here's some K-pop top chart in Korea as May 27. There are 4 K-pop girls groups such as iRead, aespa, IVE, and NewJeans. For example, I asked LLM about NewJeans. It defined this as neural text-to-image synthesis with human in the loop. What? It provides incorrect definitions about NewJeans. This is one of examples of hallucination by LLMs. And next, I researched the debut dates of some groups. The iRead is debuted this year in Korea. And NewJeans and aespas are scheduled to debut in Japan in June and July 2024 in this year. And does the LLM have data about this recently debuted K-pop idol group? Yeah. So I asked ChatGPT and also GPT about NewJeans debut date in Japan. It replied incorrectly. That is in March 2023. Yeah. As you can see, ChatGPT gave incorrect error of answers. And this shown that LLM exhibit hallucinations and provide incorrect information. And there are better methods to improve LLM hallucinations. I asked the Reddit versions of ChatGPT about NewJeans debut date in Japan. So the Reddit ChatGPT used web search first before answering to get updated data. So RAG, which we will show next, is one of the methods to overcome LLM hallucination. So now let's talk about RAG. The Retrieval-Augmented generations, or RAG, is a software architecture and techniques. The RAG is one of the technology proposed Patrick Lewis, who was working at Meta at the time. These papers published at the NeurIPS conference in 2020 is now in Cohere AI. And you can refer to this paper to understand more about RAG. Today I have divided the basic RAG technique into 8 steps. Let me walk you through the basic RAG steps. The first step is the load the data. The second step is splitting the load data into chunks. You can think a chunk is similar to document. And next, if each separated chunk goes through the text embedding process to be represented as a vector. Yeah. Then the document and vectorized data are stored in vector stores and it's known as a vector database. And fifth step is the retrieval process. Yeah, it's very important. Where you perform similarity search based on the embedded vector data. And there are many methods, similarity search, but we mainly use Euclidean distance and cosine similarity and MMR. The next step is define the prompt. System, assistant, and user prompts are combined with the search result and affect the output. And the next step is LLM, and the final step is output. You can set the output to be in text and JSON and Markdown and so on. So it might be hard to understand these 8 steps by text, so I have summarized them in a diagram. Step 1 to 4 are pre-processing steps, and step 5 to 8 are client-side steps, and interacting with Ninja. The reason for splitting the document to text, step 2, is related to step 5 through 7. So how should we implement RAG as a developers? So the first step method is using LangChain. It's generally used. So second step is lemma index. And the final step is implementing all steps directly by yourself. Yeah, so today we will look at some LangChain. Yeah, let's move on to LangChain. How many you used LangChain? Oh, yes, that's good. LangChain is a framework for developing LLMs that created by hallucinations. Yeah, it's an open source as shown in the picture on the right. Recently added services are LangSmith for monitoring and evaluations, and LangSer for cloud development. So LangChain can be developed using Python and JavaScript. So how can we use LangChain in Dart and Flutter? So here is the package called LangChain Dart. The LangChain Dart is an unofficial Dart port of the LangChain. If you visit the LangChain Dart repository, so you can find the motivation behind why this package was developed. So as mentioned earlier, LangChain primarily operate Python on JavaScript and TypeScript. So thus the aim is to allow Dart and Flutter to use LangChain concepts and functionalities for building LLMs. Here's the pros and cons of LangChain Dart. So the advantage is that you can build LLMs using Dart language without needing Python or JavaScript acknowledgement. Additionally, the official document and well organized and easy to use. And on the downside, the number of third-party libraries is limited. So, but there are no issues for basic usages, implement a RAG or LLMs. Now, next move on to how to build a RAG app with Dart using LangChain Dart. Here is the architecture diagram for the RAG app can question and answer about Korean idols. Then installed Orama and to run LLM locally on my Mac. And next I prepare some LLM environment where step or download the LLMs and operate through Orama. Though not shown in this diagram, you can also use Apple's MLX or Llama C++. So on the left side, the data is fetched from PDF or Wikipedia. For Korean or English text embedding, I used either OpenAI text embedding or Orama Nomic embedding text provide Orama. The vector store was configured using Chroma database in Docker container. The actual development as is shown in the picture on the right. So when I asked it about new genes, it responds well. So I used the IA23 that's made from Cohere AI, which supports multiple languages. So as we don't need fine tuning about other languages. So now let's see how to build Flutter app based on the 8 steps outlined earlier. Here is the asynchronous method pick PDF text and from PDF URL. Pick PDF text is mentioned to get PDF file from the device, while the from PDF URL method is a PDF file based on the URL. In pick PDF text, I use the file picker package to use read files from the device. And PDF files and PDF docs is the class. Class defined in Flutter PDF text is package. The from path and from URL methods are static asynchronous method defined with the PDF doc class. Here, I wrote the information about top 10 singers or groups for Korean top 100. The PDF docs from path mention returns PDF doc class, and by using the asynchronous getter text of the PDF text doc class, we read the text content from the PDF. This method retrieves the entire text contents of the document and return it as a string object. Next, I explain the code for the second step and text splitting. This code creates document by strong cutting the text from the previous read PDF into chunks. So there are two ways to split the text in chunks: character text splitter and recursive character text splitter. And this time I use the recursive character text splitter method to split the document. I set the chunk size to 2000 and overlap set 400. The default value is 4000. So you can adjust the size according to your document in future project. This size can be affect the output. Yeah. So some tuning may be required. I initialize the split list variable with the text value input into the splitter. So the split text method returns list of strings. Now we need to create document and pass the list of string and ID values into the splitter functions create document method. The ID value is stored as a unique key attribute in the vector stores. So in LangChain, a document is typically composed by ID, page content, and metadata. Next, the third steps of RAG about embedding. So OpenAI text embedding can be easily called and retrieve result through an API. But your API key must be issued by accessing the OpenAI website. So, and also you can use Orama embedding using LangChain and Dart. Next, the fourth steps of RAG is a vector store. This code is initialized the Chroma class by passing the URLs and embedding values from the previous steps as parameters. And currently, there are various vector database available. And in my case, I used ChromaDB, and that also helps for rapid prototyping. It allows creating collection, adding data, and performing queries through HTTP requests. ChromaDB is based on the SQLite and SQLite 3. So we pass the document creates from second step to the vector store. Vector stores add document method. In ChromaDB, the text chunks and document from the PDF or website is embedded and stored in the database. The next step is retrieval step. This code initialized a retrieval object and set up the context and question for retrieval process. So the retrieval object uses query strings to retrieve relevant document with context and questions. The vector stores as retrieval performs similarity search and retrieve result from the vector store from user queries. And similarity search is being executed in ChromaDB. It's not your apps. And this code defines a learnable object named setup and retrieval that take a string as input. The setup and retrieval object is responsible for setting up the context and question for the retrieval process. And next, is 6 steps, which is the prompt. The prompt is important for the output. The result may change based on how we write the prompt and deliver it as input the LLM. You can use prompt template and chat prompt template. This code creates a prompt template to generate answers based on context and question text. The prompt template uses the string template with placeholder variable, which are replaced with actual value from retrievers or queries. This code creates chat prompt template object and composing to template. And next step is using the LLM. To using LLM, you can either use the API by AI model provider like ChatGPT or Google or Mistral and so on. So build a local environment on your computer. There are many ways to set up local environment. I download some open source LLM models on my local Macs, and I also use MLX server. MLX server to run LLM on the Apple Silicons in my Mac. Generally, open source LLM models are specialized for English. So fine-tuning may be necessary to use them with Korean or Japanese. So this code initialize chat Orama. You must input the LLM model name, and you download the Orama in the model parameters. Finally, I think time is up. Time is up. So finally, the 8th step of RAG. The LangChain has a LangChain expression language, it's called LCEL, which can be used similarly for Unix pipeline pattern. In LangChain and Dart, you can implement this using pipe method. So here you use variable create in previous steps. You create a chain and using prompt, LLMs, output parsers. And this code are getting output based on the stream of the chain. If not using stream, you can use the invoke method. So here is text is users input questions or queries in the pictures on the right. I use the IR23 models that doesn't have data of recently K-pop girls group. As the result of RAG in my system, you can see the output about the debut date of the girl group's eyelid. So it was correct answer. So I'd like to recap the main point of my presentations. We look into the basic RAG architecture divided into 8 steps to improve ML and hallucination issues. So generally, LangChain and Llama index used to develop LLM apps. So LangChain can be used in Python and JavaScript, but is not official provided for Dart language. However, there is an official LangChain Dart package that can be used to develop LLM apps with Dart and Flutter. So finally, we learn how to implement RAG app using Dart based on 8 steps of RAG. It's done. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you for insightful sessions. If you have any questions here, please raise your hand. And the staff, please, to the front.
Thank you very much. My question is, do you have any concrete method to put those LLM inside iPhone or Android devices itself?
You said there's on-device LLMs.
exactly.
Yes, I do that. I did that. So actually, currently it has a limited operation. So a generation of text and inference of text because it's very slow.
Very slow.
Yes, users waste a lot of time to get results. So if you have a time, I recommend you try Gemma, or MediaPipe. MediaPipe is it's not good because you can use MediaPipe using Flutter.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you use LLM.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else? Good. Okay, thank you for the sessions and the question, Q&A session. So let's give him again a round of applause to him, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we will have a short break until 2:05, and the next session is starting 2:05 by Takeshi Tsukamoto. Thank you.